What's up guys, it's Austin here from Hatch and I hope you're having a great day. In today's video we're going to be showing off some of the Hypo Clowns that I made in the past year, maybe getting some of the breeders as well. Before we get into that, huge shout out to Randy at Dark Cloud Reptiles. Go check him out, he's got some really cool puzzle projects, he's working a lot with the clown stuff and he's definitely not slacking on the back, so go and give him a follow and check him out. But we're going to go right into the Hypo Clown stuff. I didn't make too much Hypo Clowns this year. I made a lot of Hypo, Het Clown, Het Monsoon stuff this year. Kind of trying to go push the envelope for the future. But I did hit some really cool Hypo Clowns and let's show you them right now. So if you guys saw my Hypo and Clown videos, I explained a lot what Hypo and Clowns do, especially when you mix them with certain genes. And when you mix them together, you make some really cool stuff. And I thought I'd start off with an adult here. Here's a Pastel Vanilla Leopard Hypo Clown. This one's possible Het Monsoon. And I haven't got her shed tested. Just with a really wacky pattern. I kind of wanted to go and prove her out the old-fashioned way. That's how I proved out a lot of my monsoon stuff, and I've been really lucky with it, especially with the markers being so apparent. This looks really different than a lot of the other Pastel Leopard Hypo Clowns you'll see, but I really like the tones on this snake. You got some greenish tones flowing throughout, a lot of grays, and even in the head here with the vanilla, you get some really nice gray-purple tones just on the head there. I just tried putting her into the light box and she was just squirming around way too much and didn't fit. But I hope I got some good shots for you here. And let's go move on to the next snake. Next up here we have a Leopard Orange Dream Hypo Clown. And this guy's actually going into shed right now. But you can just see how well Leopard and Orange Dream worked inside of the Hypo Clown. It made these really nice purple tones. They're a little bit exaggerated right now because it isn't shed, but you still get a really good representation of what the genes and the colors look like inside of the Hypo. And we're actually lucky enough to hit this exact combo with Enchi on top, and she's actually not in shed, so we're going to jump to her next. But I really like the way that Leopard just works with Hypo, even without the clown. It's really dark gene, and dark genes inside of Hypo like to bring a lot of purples and orange tones. And then when you add the Orange Dream in there, it just makes the orange pop that much more. You're getting it along the sides there, a little bit of flaming, even though there's no yellow belly in the clutch, but really nice flaming from the Orange Dream there. Once again, the Hypo just emphasizes all the flaming, and then you got the Hypo just turning all those blacks into really nice purples and grays, and you just can never go wrong with the Hypo Clown. So here's that Enchi version I was just telling you about. So Enchi, Leopard, Orange Dream, Hypo Clown, and here you get a better representation of the colors when they're not in shed. You still have those really nice purple tones and those orange highlights on the dorsal, as well as in the head stamp there. You're getting some really nice colors. And this girl's kind of small still. She just had her first couple of meals. Her brother's a little bit of a better eater. You can tell that's why he's in shed. But with the Enchi, I really like how it changed the pattern on the snake. You can see that this one here is a lot more cleaner pattern than the brother was. And that's because Enchi likes to really drag all the pattern along the sides. Leopard does too, but when you have genes like Orange Dream or even Spot Nose and other genes, that could really go and change how the leopard interacts. When you get another gene that interacts similar to Leopard like the Enchi does, it just takes that Enchi Leopard pattern and really makes it strong. And even with the Orange Dream in there, it didn't break up much of the pattern. You have a little bit broken up by the neck. Beautiful snake and some amazing tones, and I'm really pleased with this one. This next snake here is very genetically similar to the last two, except it doesn't have the Leopard. We're just going to swap that out for the Fire, and we got an Enchi, Orange Dream, Fire, Hypo Clown. And Orange Dream and Fire have a great interaction. If you guys watch my other videos, I love to say it gives you that DG effect, and when you add the Hypo on top, it really amplifies it and makes it look that much better. You lose a lot of those like dark gray purple tones, but you get a lot of these really nice oranges coming through. They're almost Ultramel tones and look really cool in the snake and give great contrast with those kind of purple borders around them and that really nice pale color on the sides. It's a lot brighter than a normal Enchi Orange Dream Fire Clown. The Hypo really brightened up in this case. And I really find that happens a lot with Orange Dream and Fire and Hypo together. It gives you a more of a pop, especially as they age. I do have some other adults I could show you that have Orange Dream and Fire. And into adulthood, they kind of lose that purpling effect and that graying effect and just really pale out. I like the tones on this one. Once again, Enchi is really good at reducing pattern, but Orange Dream does like to go and give you those teardrops inside of the clown there. And it's kind of messing up that pattern. Just like before when we had the Leopard, it made it really dramatic. Over here it changes a bit and the interaction between the Enchi and OD is very apparent. And I really like this combo. Definitely want to get something like Vanilla in here in the future. Vanilla creams look amazing, and with the Orange Dream on top and the Enchi and the Hypo, I just think it would be amazing inside of the clown. So this next snake is one of my favorite snakes in my collection. Here we have a Leopard Ultramel Hypo Clown, possible het for pied. And this guy recently shed, so I'm going to go get a shed test for him real soon and we're going to figure out if he's het pied or not. And I did show this guy off in my Ultramel video. If you guys haven't seen that, go and check that one out. But I really like the way that Ultramel and Hypo interact, especially inside of the clown. You got really nice purple tones, you got the yellows popping, giving a nice contrast. You even got those orange hues in between on the dorsal and flaming up the sides. That just looks amazing. I think if we were to get some other genes in here like Yellow Belly, Cypress, and even getting something like Spot Nose would really change the pattern up, make the oranges as well as some of those blacks, or should I say purples inside of the Hypo, pop that much more. If you notice from my Clown and Hypo video, a lot of the genes actually came from this guy. This is a Black Pastel, Leopard, Orange Dream, Fire Hypo Clown. He has some really nice tones throughout his dorsals, and if you look at it, it's got almost like a yellowish green highlight going through with that really nice purple and really dark gray border around it. It looks very nice, and usually with the Leopard clowns you get that really nice pale color on the sides, especially if you add the Orange Dream and the Fire. But when you add the Hypo to it, it kind of grays it out and it gives a little bit more contrast with that really nice dark line on the top and those spots the Leopard brings in along the side of the pattern. It just looks really cool. And then of course we have Orange Dream, which is just dragging it towards the tail. And then we do have a little bit of a ringer on here. He is 50% het for DG and pied. I haven't proved him out for both, but his dad recently proved out for het DG, or enhancer in this case. So definitely going to get a shed test on him. And he is breeding pretty heavily right now. He just went off food. Might have to pull him from the breeding plan if he doesn't get back on soon, but a great breeder and an amazing looking snake. So here's the other Hypo Clown male I have, and this is more of a backup for that first one. This is a Pastel Leopard, Black Pastel, OD, Fire, Hypo Clown. Also possible het for pied and possible het for enhancer, but even just by adding one gene you can see how much things have changed. You still got a very similar pattern to Chrome, except you're getting a lot more of these teardrops and spots along the side. Pastel does like to bring a lot of those into the Leopard Clown stuff, as you could have told with that first Pastel Leopard Hypo Clown I showed you guys. But then of course we do have the Black Pastel in here, and Black Pastel and Pastel interact in a way that gives you a pewter, which is a pretty gray snake, but when you have the Orange Dream and Fire, once again like I said earlier, it likes to brighten up and give you those tones that you're seeing here that are just a lot more muted and creamier. It's still giving you that Hypo effect, but it takes away a lot of those blacks and gray and purple tones that you usually see with the Hypo Clowns. This next snake here is pretty cool. I love the really soft gray tones on it. This is a Black Pastel OD Fire Mojave Hypo Clown, and at first we weren't too sure if this actually had fire in it, but after a shed or two the tones just got that much more softer, and you know that interaction between the Orange Dream and the Fire makes it really soft, and it gave us this really nice gray tones and this almost muted tan tone inside of the actual alien heads. It's just really cool. And I also like that white flaming coming up about halfway, turning into that really nice dusty color right between the alien heads. And then even if you look a little bit closer to that ear, you do get some purple tones, but the whole bottom half of the snake is mostly gray. And it's really cool that you get the interaction where you get the purples at the top and those really nice grays at the bottom. And can't wait to go and add some other darkening genes, maybe take out the Fire on this one, and really make those purples pop. So sticking with the Black Pastel, but we're also about to transition into some Cypress Hypo Clowns. Here we have a Black Pastel Leopard OD Fire Cypress Hypo Clown female, and this is pretty much chrome with Cypress on top, and you can just see how much Cypress really changed the pattern, as well as the whole head. It kind of erased most of that head stamp. You don't have any sort of eye bands anymore, but you still get those chrome eyes just at the top of the eyes right there with those little eye bands there. Even though they're erased on the head, they're still coming through in the eyes. And that's typical of a lot of clowns that don't have head pattern. You can still see a little bit of the eye band just at the top of the eye there. And this snake just has a lot of contrast throughout it. It's got that deep purple tone on the top with some little bit of highlighting coming through. You see some of those speckles of it, and especially towards the tail there, you're getting some larger speckles. And then you got that really nice tan color along the sides that you get with the Leopard Clowns when you add the Hypo in there. When you look deeper into it, you're getting some little muted orange tones as you go up, and then the whiter tones towards the bottom. It looks amazing, and I can't wait to see how this girl ages and eventually get a nice clutch from her. This next snake right here is a Cypress Fire Mojave Hypo Clown, and this snake has been drastically changing with every shed. It started off a lot more purple tones, especially after it first came out of the egg, but you know that Fire likes to go and take those hypo tones and kind of mute them up a bit and just really go and brighten them up, and that's exactly what's happening here. You can see the faded pet stamp it has on the head there, and the nice little muted purples that are going into the neck and turning into those peachy tones. They look really cool. And then all those black tones you would have had bordering all the pattern is a nice grayish color. A little bit of purple tones to it, but it's majority gray. And then once again we have that fire bringing that white flaming up from the belly and just overall paling out the whole snake. We do have some more purple tones towards the tail there, bordering that really nice peach dorsal pattern. And then once again we have that fire taking the side pattern in the alien heads and really paling it out, giving us that nice tan yellow look. And just to give you a little bit of that paling effect that Orange Dream and Fire can have in Hypo, here we have a Butter Orange Dream Fire Hypo Clown. This girl is breeding size. You can see she's got some really nice orange tones that held right around the neck there, but the rest of the snake is pretty faded. You have no blacks, and you're getting a lot of greenish yellow and orange hues throughout. You're also getting some grayish tones where the black should be, but they're not really purple anymore. But I'm going to add a photo right here, as you can see right now on the screen, that when this girl was a baby she was popping and looking really good. So sometimes adding Orange Dream and Fire into the Hypo Clown stuff, depending what other genes you have in there. If it's something like Butter or Lesser that's going to already brighten up and get softer as it ages, I probably wouldn't want to add both of them into it. But nonetheless, still a very beautiful snake, and I'm going to be working on some projects to go and make her look that much better. This next snake is another one of my favorite combos from this past season. Here we have a Cypress Leopard Yellow Belly Hypo Clown. This one's het for Ultramel, and just the whole pattern on the snake just looks so cool. I wasn't really expecting this color palette, the tones, or even just the pattern throughout for this interaction with these genes. Leopard Cypress clowns can be kind of reduced and have a lot of chaining. But when you added the yellow belly in there, it turned it up a notch, gave you these really nice deep flaming coming up. It really messed up with the speckling in between all of that chaining. And just gave us these really nice tones too. You have this flaming in some parts, just like over here, that comes all the way into the dorsal and just bleeds it across the whole dorsal of the snake into that head. And we have some really nice purple tones, but most of the black tones in the snake are actually a gray tone. Most of the purples are just in the head there and towards the tail. And I don't want to mess with this guy too much. He just did have a meal the other day. But hopefully I'll get him breeding soon and make some combos with the Cypress and the Yellow Belly in the Hypo Clown, as well as in the Ultramel Hypo Clown. And I was recently lucky enough to make a female version of this with one gene on top, so let's go jump to that next. Here we have that very similar clown, except this one has fire added. This is the Cypress Fire Yellow Belly Leopard Hypo Clown. And you can just see how much fire really changed the color profile of the clown. Faded all those grays that you saw along the borders and made them a little bit more pale, but not purple yet, still really dark gray tone. And really emphasized those oranges along the head there, made them really nice. But then towards the back of the snake, it does get a little bit darker and hold those nice darker grays. Besides from just the fire interacting, I also think that there might be Mojave in this, just because of the overall darker color of the snake. And some of the pattern we're getting with the chaining over here being that much different. Might be the Fire and Mojave, but at least Fire for sure. Comment down below and let me know what you think. If there's Mojave in the snake or is it just the Fire. And to end off today's video, we're going to do it with this Enchi Cypress Hypo Clown. And I actually didn't produce this snake, but I did produce one of the parents. This was produced by my girlfriend at Abstract Pythons. And you can just go and see how well Enchi and Cypress interacted with the colors as well as the pattern. So we got this really nice orange tone in between the tan alien heads that are just banding over really nicely with the Enchi and the Cypress. But then if you look at the alien heads, we have that really nice purple bordering, which really makes it pop and stand out that much better. This guy just got out of the egg not too long ago and just had a few meals. So with a couple more meals and a couple more sheds, I really think this animal is going to pop. And I really think those oranges and red hues are just going to change and make it that much more apparent with the nice tan and the purple borders. And last year we didn't go too hard with the Hypo Clowns, only making a couple of combos. We did make a few more, but they're in shed and we didn't want to show you guys. And I actually sold a couple too. So this year we are going a lot harder into it, trying to get a lot more Ultramel Hypo Clowns, as well as adding Het Sunset into the Hypo Clown stuff. So really excited for that. But that's going to be it for today's video. Let me know which Hypo Clown was your favorite. Mine's probably going to be this one actually, just because of all the tones and how different it looks. I really like Cypress in the Hypo Clown, and I really like Enchi. The Enchi OD Fire really stood out. And I think adding Orange Dream and Fire to this would just make it pop and really orange and a very clean snake. Something I'm looking to move towards in the future. But that's going to be it for today's video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. and we'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace out.